Hello aspirants, after a long time, welcome back. So, as far as the importance of current affairs is concerned, it's pretty much well accepted that in civil services, current affairs have always played a crucial role. Now, when we look into the sources of current affairs, from where exactly the UPSC picks up threads of current affairs, no doubt newspapers are certainly an important aspect of your civil services preparations. But beyond that, if you go, there are certain authentic magazines and sources which provides you current affairs in a very detailed, structured and with facts, relevant opinions without having largely any biasness of ideologies. No interpretations as such, the facts as it is. One such magazine is Economic and Political Weekly. It has certainly been one of the most authentic source of current affairs. And if you have followed this magazine, you will notice that UPSC follows these magazines page by page. In fact, in the last year's mains examination, the paper one, there were question on tribes which was directly handpicked from the magazine. And similarly, the questions of economics paper 3 have also been many times directly handpicked from this particular magazine. So in this series, we will be discussing different aspects of Economic and Political Weekly. One thing has to be made clear to you that I'm posting this personally on my channel because there are things, because we have a study IQ, I work at study IQ and I teach at study IQ. Because of lot many colleagues, aspects which are there, obviously every video cannot be uploaded in a very stipulated time period manner. And as a result, I thought the mains is on the verge and the students should certainly have that support structure as far as this important magazine is concerned, so that they do not miss the bus of mains after cracking the UPSC's history's most difficult preliminary examinations. So that's the only purpose. This content would be posted here in order to make you understand that you follow this content in order to enhance your mains एस्पेक्ट्स. आज जो टॉपिक हम EPW से डिस्कस करेंगे वो अक्टूबर की मैगजीन से है. मैं इसमें कोई मेरी इंटरप्रिटेशन नहीं ऐड करूंगा. आई वुड ओनली बी डिस्कसिंग in 15 to 20 minutes what exactly an article says. Some of the articles may take 7 to 8 minutes, some may take 30 to 35 minutes. In this, India stressed with liberalization. Bimal Jalan का article है. Bimal Jalan has been one of the forefront economists of India, and he has written many good books as well, and he has held many important positions within the government circles and administrative positions within the India as well. So let's see, इन्होंने एक आर्टिकल लिखा है डेवलपमेंट प्लानिंग एंड मिक्स्ड इकोनॉमी से, जो डायरेक्टली रिलेटेड है एज फार एज योर सोशियोलॉजी सिलेबस इज कंसर्न्ड, एंड पेपर 3 LPG से डायरेक्टली रिलेटेड है एज फार एज योर GS सिलेबस इज कंसर्न्ड. So before starting any article, I'll just give you where exactly these articles would make any sense. In this article, we often see that LPG, जब भी हम बात करते हैं, we just create that commonsensical notion that 1991 is the year where the LPG started in India. In this article, he tries to show us that liberalization, privatization, or for that matter, globalization was not the thing which came from 1991, rather than it existed even prior to 1991 as well. He tries to give a particular broad narrative of LPG, its progress, its manifestations in India since 1947 and even before that as well. The popular narrative of India being severely regulated economy till 1991 is a misnomer. Now see the way it has been written. I have directly picked it up from EPW. Tomorrow in paper 3, they can directly give you the statement and just add, discuss. It becomes a very authentic question in civil services examinations. In fact, if this is a question, then what should be the answer? There are इफ दिस आर्टिकल हैज टू बी फॉलोड, अगर इसी आर्टिकल को फॉलो कर लो, इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर निकल आएगा आपका। इस तरीके से ईपीडब्ल्यू का कंटेंट यूज करती है सिविल सर्विसेज में यूपीएससी, जहां पे उसी एक लाइन को क्वेश्चन बना लेते हैं और उसी आर्टिकल में टेक्निकली आपका आंसर हो जाता है। It remained only moderately regulated economy through 1950s and 60s. So the fact of this article is this article is going to try to prove you that 50s 60s से लेके अगर हम देखें तो एक moderately regulated economy रही थी. It was not that it was a severely regulated economy dominated by the state or dominated by the public sector enterprises. Before this independence, we largely after just immediately after independence, there were many high stature leaders belonging to different ideologies of socialist, communist or Gandhian ideologies. We see that the forefront question faced by all the political or the thinkers of our Indian society after 1947 who fought the battle of or who fought for the freedom of India, they had one question, that what should be the way forward as far as the independent or democratic India is concerned. As far as the Gandhiji's ideology was concerned, Gandhiji advocated, he was strictly against any form of industrialization. Rather, he propagated a self-sufficient economy at the village level, where the village becomes completely autonomous in nature. Reflecting the ideologies of little republics, thought of Henry Maine, Metcalfe and others. But however, this opinion was not acceptable, as our leaders such as Jawaharlal Nehru wanted to industrialize the country in order to ensure its progress, so that the social justice can be ensured on one hand, and at the same time the deprivation, poverty and exclusions can be tackled with a war footage, so that the people largely becomes the participant. Everybody largely gets the fruit of development. Therefore, this Gandhian ideology was completely rejected. इससे आगे आते हैं जवाहरलाल नेहरू, because he was the leader who dominated the Indian politics at least till 1960-67. Single-handedly, Indian National Congress largely ruled the country without any effective opposition, and henceforth the leader of the Indian National Congress, who was Jawaharlal Nehru, his ideology largely became the basis upon which the government or the administrative or the country largely functioned. According to him, a faster industrialization and a complete industrialization was the way forward. Therefore, the Gandhian ideology of Little Republic was completely negated, and the Nehruvian perspective was followed in the Indian industrial policies or in the Indian planning, upon which the planning commission was established in the later phases. So, to propagate, to highlight what should be the plan, and those plans largely focused on faster industrialization. But however, once the Nehruvian term was over, we started seeing certain aspects that the economy needs to deregulate itself. And when Shastriji comes into the scene, in fact, he can be considered as one of the most honest prime minister, most down-to-earth prime minister of the country so far India has got. Shastriji's focus was, when the Nehruvian ideology was focusing on manufacturing, industries, Shastriji now wanted to shift the focus from manufacture to trade, where he largely advocated that the country cannot just progress on the basis of manufacture, as country cannot manufacture every aspect, rather than it should also start indulging in trade. And it is here from where we see that the liberalization started taking place. As now the focus shifted to trade, and in order to trade we need to largely have connections and interactions with the larger world. The globalization and privatization started coming into the circles of governance or government policy making. Therefore, the focus shifted from manufacture to trade. And before getting into this, at Study IQ, our batch is going to close tomorrow. And in this, I'm talking specifically of a sociology batch. If you people are really interested to take your sociology to the next level, do join this batch. We have just started from Max Weber. If you are in this batch, in the next 4.5 months, I can assure that your sociology would be completely taken care. You don't have to bother about the resources. You don't have to bother about the notes. You don't have to bother about the mentorships, because I specifically personally conduct mentorship sessions of students every single day, so that the people largely have my personal attention कि उनकी लाइफ में चल क्या रहा है, because many personal problems, कुछ doubts हो सकते हैं जो एक क्लास में नहीं पूछ पाता है बच्चा, उनके लिए वो सेशंस होती है. So join this batch if you are interested to take your sociology to a next level. After Shastriji, we do see a dominating, a dominating personality came to India called as Indira Gandhi. She single-handedly again dominated the Indian society. In fact, a leader with not only a vision but at the same time a leader who largely had a spines to take decisions. और obviously spines कभी कभार तब भी आती है जब आपके पास पूरा का पूरा authority रहे. For example, the present prime minister, because of the majority, he's having strong capacity to take decisions. जब coalition government आती है during the time of Dr. Manmohan Singh, we often see कि कहीं ना कहीं pull and push के pressures रहते हैं, and that strong decisions, even if you want to take, may not be taken. During Indira Gandhi, what happened? The policy now started here shifting towards a welfare approach, where the Garibi Hatao became a very famous slogan during Indira Gandhi. Pro-poor policies was misunderstood as anti-capitalistic policies, resulting in license raj. Normally यहाँ पे ऐसा समझ लिया गया कि ये pro-poor policy है जो कहीं ना कहीं anti-private रहेगा, anti-capitalistic रहेगा, but in reality that was not the case. और इस misunderstanding के कारण in India we started facing often जो बोला जाता है license raj. तो एक चीज ध्यान से यहाँ पे नोट कर लेना साइड में. LPG जो हम बोलते हैं came against the license raj. Yes, लाइसेंस राज के अगेंस्ट में एलपीजी हम कंपेयर करते हैं, बट एलपीजी का मतलब ये नहीं है दैट द लिबरलाइजेशन एंड प्राइवेटाइजेशन ओनली स्टार्टेड टेकिंग प्लेस फ्रॉम 1991, बिकॉज इफ यू लुक इनटू द शास्त्री जी's term of prime ministership, we often see that even the trade focus largely started making India tilt towards that LPG. सेकेंड फेज जो इंदिरा गांधी का रहा आफ्टर इमरजेंसी, वी सी प्रो कैपिटलिस्ट फोकस आने लगा यहाँ पे. Now, obviously, because of the changing international scenarios, we often started seeing that just a closed autarky would not suffice. Rather than India would have to aggressively trade with the world if it has to maintain the pace of remaining relevant in the 21st century. Kohli calls this as pro-business policy. Therefore, within Indira Gandhi, we do see two phases. तो यहाँ तक हमने क्या देखा? Gandhian ideology we started with, but we did not implement that. We came to pure domination of public sectors, Nehruvian time, from manufacture to trade during Shastriji's time, and from Indira Gandhi initially tilt towards welfare policies, and later phases of the time we see there was a strong tilt towards capitalism. After this we see accidental prime minister, if I would have to say this, if that is appropriate to say, because Rajiv Gandhi largely came because of the death of Srimati Indira Gandhi. राजीव गांधी जी के टाइम में कोहली साहब ने तीन फेसेस में तीन इंपॉर्टेंट फीचर्स दिए इनके टाइम स्पैन के. More neoliberal because he himself was Western educated, no doubt, but at the same time he was living in the conditions where the world was growing and India had to keep pace with. Primarily committed to economic growth, then opening up the economy. But however, this opening up the economy was largely regulated, where it was not a blind opening up to the world, rather than it was a strategic opening towards the world. Opening up of areas that were previously earmarked for the public sector. Certain areas which was only dominated by public sectors now started opening during Rajiv Gandhi. So we do see during Rajiv Gandhi अब ये LPG की ट्रेड धीरे 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 स्ट्रॉन्ग होती चली गई. And this was what this article talks about, the evolution, that how LPG largely cannot be considered as only the part of 1991. After Rajiv Gandhi, we see finally the LPG starts coming in with Manmohan Singh being the finance minister. We often see that LPG then in 1990s became a reality. There was no looking back. So the evolution of liberalization and liberalization, privatization and globalization is not something which only started in 1990s. Rather than the historical root of LPG lies from the Shastriji's times. So till 1960s we can say severely regulated economy, but from Shastriji's time period onwards we started seeing that the economy started getting deregulated. So पहले शास्त्री जी आते हैं, फिर इंदिरा गांधी आती है, और उसके बाद राजीव गांधी आती है, और फाइनली जाके हम देखते हैं प्रॉपर फॉर्म में फुल फ्लेज लिबरलाइजेशन होती है. सो वन मोर थिंग, आवर इंग्लिश बैच and our Hindi medium batch have also started at Study IQ. The batch have just started on 19th of this. The batch closes on 30th. So if you want to really get into this batch, एक mentorship, एक current affairs sessions, it's like a package. In fact, I can make an entire video on these packages. Nobody is going to give such a fabulous package. और इसके ऊपर the add-on जो चार चांद लगाता है, इनफैक्ट 7 बोलने चाहिए मुझे टेक्निकली, वो ये है कि आपको मेंस रेसिडेंशियल प्रोग्राम मिलेगा यहाँ पे, जहाँ पे आपको स्टडी आईक्यू स्पॉन्सर करेगी, आपकी लॉजिंग, आपकी फूडिंग, पर्सनल मेंटरशिप, क्लासेस, which where you will be coming to the study IQ campus and you would be largely taking the classes from all the mentors which you would have interacted with in the online as well. Some part would also be taken by me as well. So if you are interested in this batch, imagine in 30,000 you are not only getting a 2 years course, a 2 year recorded lecture, 1 year's course, you are also largely getting the capacity to come here in Delhi. In that 30,000 normally शायद 2 महीने का खर्चा हो जाएगा दिल्ली के अंदर अगर आप आते हो उस फॉर्म के अंदर. So if you're interested in this, you can join this. I hope you enjoyed this session. These lectures are purely meant, मैं मेरा कोई इंटरप्रिटेशन ऐड नहीं करूंगा, जो एग्जैक्ट है वैसे बस आपको ये बताता जाऊंगा कि कहाँ कहाँ पे ये कंटेंट यूज किया जा सकता है. तो कीप वॉचिंग दिस एंड डू लाइक इट, डू शेयर इट एंड सपोर्ट द चैनल एज वेल. थैंक यू.